Hello, dear students and viewers. Today I am going to give you a lesson on clause. Hope that you will participate and try to enjoy the class and try to understand. First of all, we will know what clause is. The Bengali meaning of the word clause is bakangsho or khondobak. Bakangsho, that means a part of a larger sentence. A clause has some characteristics. If we want to define clause, from the definition of clause, we will get some characteristics. A clause is a group of words. First characteristics of a clause is a group of words. Secondly, it has subject and predicate. We have already got two characteristics of clause. Clause is a group of words. A clause has a subject and a predicate. These two characteristics are the main characteristics of a clause. Besides these two clauses, we will find two other characteristics. These are acts as a part of speech. Thirdly, builds a part of a large sentence. In total, a clause has four characteristics. But these two characteristics are found in almost all clauses. The rest of the characteristics, that means C and D characteristics, are found only in subordinate clause or dependent clause. If we minutely observe, we will see that these four characteristics are found. A clause is a group of words. A clause has subject and predicate. Sometimes it acts as a part of speech. Sometimes it builds a part of a larger sentence. I would like to give an example to clarify the idea. I saw a boy who was blind. Through this example, I will try to prove that this sentence is a complex sentence, and this sentence has two clauses. I saw a boy who was blind. Who was blind? This portion is dependent clause. And I saw a boy. This is independent clause. A clause, we have said that a clause has four characteristics. Independent clause, who was blind. Here, who is subject. Was blind is predicate. Then we have said that a clause has a subject and predicate. That means that it has a subject and predicate. At the same time, the principal clause has also a subject and predicate. I, subject, saw a boy, a predicate. Every clause has a subject and predicate. But a group of words, is clause a group of words? Yes, it is. I saw a boy. This is a clause. And here we have found four words. I saw a boy. At the same time, in dependent clause, who saw blind. I saw a boy. Here we have found 4 words. That means it has a group of words. At the same time, in dependent clause, who was blind. There are 3 words. And this means it has also 3 words. That means it has a group of words. Every clause has a group of words. Sometimes it acts as a part of speech. But if the clause is independent clause or principal clause, only these 2 characteristics are found. If it is a dependent clause or a subordinate clause, all these are found. Who was blind? It is a dependent clause. Here, who was blind? We have got 3 words. That means this clause has a group of words. It has a subject. Who is subject and blind, was blind is predicate and acts as a part of speech. This clause, who was blind, it functions as adjective of the noun boy. That means who was blind, it is a clause. Being a clause, it is functioning like an adjective of the noun boy. So it functions or acts as a part of speech. And last characteristic, builds a part of a larger sentence. This is a large sentence, a complex sentence. And this clause, who was blind, is a part of this total sentence. I saw a boy is a part. Who was blind is a part. Who was blind is a part of this large sentence. Then, dear viewers and learners, we have already understood what clause is and what are the characteristics of clause are. Now we will discuss classification of clause. A clause is mainly divided into 2 types. First one is independent clause. It is also called principal clause. Second one is dependent clause. It is also called subordinate clause. Now we will discuss independent clause or principal clause. What is independent clause or what is principal clause? An independent clause or a principal clause can express meaning by itself. This clause can express a meaning, a complete meaning by itself. It does not need the help of dependent clause. I saw a boy who was blind. This is independent clause. This portion, I saw a boy, this is an independent clause or principal clause, because this clause can express or can make a complete thought by itself. It does not need this portion. I saw a boy. I saw a boy. It itself is a sentence and it can express a complete thought. But this portion, who was blind, this clause, this is also a clause, but this is dependent or subordinate clause, because this clause alone cannot stand. This clause cannot express or make a thought by itself. In order to express a complete thought, this clause needs the help of this clause, principal clause. So this is dependent. Then we have understood independent clause means a free clause, a principal clause or main clause, because this can express a complete thought by itself. Dependent clause is dependent on the principal clause because it itself cannot express a complete thought. Then we have understood the main 2 types of clause: independent clause or principal clause, dependent clause or subordinate clause. Dependent clause or subordinate clause is divided into 3 types. Dear viewers and learners, according to function, this dependent clause or subordinate clause is also divided into 3 types. These are noun clause, adjective clause, adverb clause. Independent clause has no other categories, but dependent clause or subordinate clause, according to function in a sentence, it is divided into three types: noun clause, adjective clause, or adverb clause. What is noun clause? Noun clause is a clause. It is a subordinate or dependent clause, and it functions like a noun. When a clause functions like a noun, it is called noun clause. Adjective clause. An adjective clause is a clause which functions like adjective. An adverb clause is a clause which functions like adverb. Then we have understood that dependent clause or subordinate clause is subdivided into three types: noun clause, adjective clause, and adverb clause. Dear learners and viewers, today I have just discussed what clause is, the definition of clause, the classification of clause. In my next class, I will discuss elaborately all the divisions and classifications of dependent or subordinate clause. That means noun clause, adjective clause, and verb clause. Dear learners, that is all for the lesson today. Thank you very much and wish you all the best.